My name is Bakaus and I'm a developer advocate for Google. I'm specialized on Google Chrome and the open web. So one of my main goals is to be the outreach lead for the DevTools, Chrome DevTools. And also my other specialties are performance and also HTML5 games. So I'm basically a storyteller for the company. Well, as a developer advocate, you have to fill a couple of roles. Once you have to be a very good programmer in the community and have to be street accredited, basically. But you also have to be a great spokesperson, because what you're doing is you're being the bridge between outside developers and inside developers, and need to communicate with both product teams inside and outside developers. So what you really are, you're the storyteller for the company. So you go to conferences, you create polls, you feed in information from the outside world, and really try to make every product at Google successful. Yes, so my talk tomorrow will be about how to use DevTools if you're a designer. Because historically, we haven't been talking to designers a lot, but I think that's a mistake. You know, designers have always been our target audience, but we just never listened to, or we didn't have a direct communication between designers and us. But we want to change that. We want to really embrace creating design and doing prototyping with DevTools. And so tomorrow, I will show quite a lot of interesting ideas to the community and hopefully collect a lot of feedback afterwards from the design community for those design ideas. So multi-device projects, responsive design has been something that's been going around for a few years now, but you have to look past that. It's not only multi-device, multi-design. What most people think is that they're trying to do responsive layouts, right? So they look at different resolutions and do tablet, mobile, desktop. Now things are getting a bit better by creating fluid designs because you have so many form factors, but you need to go one level beyond that and look at input methods, for instance. Web pages behave completely differently if you're using them with a pen versus mouse versus touch, right? And the same goes for viewing distance. If you're building a website that needs to look good on a TV, it's completely different than maybe having the same resolution but looking at it on your phone. So if you take those into account, the behavior of how a website should look changes completely. So really dig deeper than just the resolution. Right now we're trying to look at how we can make performance more friendly towards both designers and developers. We have this timeline view and we also have the network panel, but we don't have one integrated story that easily gives you an overview of what your page does wrong. So we really try to create a narrative out of the performance panel and try to make it as easy to understand as possible. For instance, by using snapshots of your page and showing you how the loading looked like, right? To actually get a good idea of what you can improve. So amazingly, there's quite a lot of resources lately for creating websites. And never has it been as easy to start as a web developer as today. For instance, our own team has created Web Fundamentals, which is a go-to resource to learn how to become a web developer in 2015 and embrace responsive design from the start. The old school developers like me actually have quite a lot of a learning curve to convert into one of those mobile-first developers. But new web developers don't have to go through that pain. They can start from the start. They can start from the early on and just have a much better and easier path towards success in this new mobile world. Right now we have a chain of new interesting technologies like Service Worker, Web Components and Manifest. And so we're doing a lot to improve the underlying platform, but I think the next step would be to focus on creating new upgrades to the web as a whole and just creating a new set of websites that don't exist yet. For instance, we saw the Ajax revolution and the Web 2.0 revolution a couple of years ago, with the introduction of sites like Gmail, right? That really turned from a website into an actual app. But I think there's one more level that we haven't achieved yet, and it's not the semantic web. We noticed that, but there is something out there, and I just want to make bigger bets, bolder bets than just, hey, here's a new model library. I think we can do more than that. I think the internet as a whole will be more fragmented and still connected. We see that with the Internet of Things right now, but at some point I think every device will be connected and we don't think about the internet anymore. We're just connected per default, on default. And as much as it is still important to build apps with offline functionality and sites with offline functionality today, I do hope that in 10 years from now we don't have that problem anymore and can just focus on what would life look like if you're always connected and always have the ability to link all devices in your immediate reach together. And I'm really excited of what kind of technologies we would build. For instance, going completely password-free.